Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys keep pressure on Eagles in NFC East chase. Since coming up short in Philadelphia in the first game of the month, the Dallas Cowboys have taken care of business. Dallas has won 3 in a row since that loss by a combined score of 127-37. The wins were against teams they should have beaten soundly. Unfortunately, the Eagles have matched the Cowboys win for win. The Cowboys remain 2 games back of the Eagles for the division lead and for the number 1 seed in the NFC with 6 games to play. The Giants and Commanders are fading into the sunset at 4-8. The Cowboys avenged a 41-16 loss to Washington on Thanksgiving Day in 2020, the last time they met on the holiday, with a brutal beat-down. The game was close in the first half, with Dallas holding a 20-10 lead before Dolly Parton stole the show at halftime. Dallas put up 25 points in the second half. Darren Bland's 63-yard interception return was that extra dollop of whipped cream on the pie. About the only thing that went wrong was Brandon Aubrey missing his 3rd extra point attempt of the year. It's puzzling because he's 22 for 22 on field goals. Aubrey has hit on all 6 field goal attempts of 40 yards or more. Aubrey thinks he knows why he's missed those 3-point after tries. He attributes it to rushing a little, which would account for tugging them to the left as he has. Still, if that's the only concern for Dallas right now, it's not a major issue. Their upcoming schedule is, however. The Cowboys, 8-3, have home games against the Seahawks and the Eagles. Then they hit the road to play the Bills and Dolphins. Dallas gets a young, hungry Lions team at home before closing the season out at Washington. That loss to the Cardinals when Dallas was sleepwalking in the first half may yet haunt this team. There can be only one explanation. Someone in the Eagles organization sold their soul to this guy. It's the only theory that makes any sense to explain how the Eagles, 10-1, keep winning the games they've won this year. In addition to making plays and getting 59-yard field goals in the rain, they appear to be getting the calls. And the non-calls just when they need them. I know the adage is that good teams make their own breaks. But how they are managing to strike the officials blind eludes most of us. A missed horse collar tackle and 2 missed pass interference violations by Darius Slay on Sunday are added to an ever-growing list of good breaks. The irony of the Eagles' 37-34 overtime win over the Bills is that if not for Buffalo, the Eagles would have lost 34-31 instead. Following Buffalo's 42-36 loss to the Chiefs in the 2021 divisional playoffs, the NFL changed the rules for overtime. Instead of the first team to score wins, the rule allowed for a team to get a possession if their opponent only scored a field goal on their first possession. Buffalo kicked a field goal in overtime. Prior to the 2022 season, that would have won the game. But now, the Eagles had a chance to tie the game or win with a touchdown. They got the touchdown and the win. Parsons details non-holding calls, sacrifices for D-line. In the days following Dallas' 45-10 win over Washington on Thanksgiving, videos and highlights were posted on social media that put a spotlight on Micah Parsons being held throughout the game despite not receiving one holding call in his favor. Much like it's been his whole career, Parsons couldn't do much aside from plead with officials throughout the game, but he looks forward to the day that he is able to earn those penalty calls. "Yeah, it's frustrating," Parsons said on Monday. "I kinda wish people saw it the way I do, but I tell the ref if you just look at me the whole time, you don't even gotta look nowhere else. You just look right there and it's right in front of you." While the emotion does come out when Parsons says he doesn't feel like he's being treated fairly by the officiating, he said that as his career has gone on, he's been able to manage the ups and downs much better. "It kinda gets me on the emotion side because I'm competing, and I'm daring to be great, and I'm challenging these guys, and I know I'm getting the best of them and it may not show up the way I want it to show up," he said. "That definitely bothers me and I'm working on it. Playing it cool, not letting it get the best of me, I think that's been the difference between this year and last year." Parsons' defensive coaches, defensive line coach Aiden Durd and defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, have both been able to help in keeping his confidence high despite the officiating. "Durd is like, you got to keep going, all the other stuff," he said. "I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I just gotta keep going. That's kinda why I've been getting these late game sacks and just trying to survive in here and things like that, and I'm going to keep hunting. His relentless hunting has allowed for not only Parsons to have success in 2023, but the entire defensive line and pass rush unit as a whole with the attention that he draws on a week-to-week basis. Because of that, Parsons is grateful even when he doesn't show up on the stat sheet as a result of opposing offenses keying in on him in their game plan, holding or not. I kind of had to talk to Aiden Durd and Dan Quinn. I was like, I see what's going on. They're making sure that I don't get started or they're trying to eliminate me from these games, he said. I think they spend a lot of time trying to focalize me, make sure that I get one-on-ones in these game plans, but teams are just like, nah, we don't care what you show, what you do, we're going to eliminate 11. While it has taken some getting used to, Parsons is learning to sacrifice what he has in front of him in order to help the team succeed, which will eventually allow him to have his opportunities open back up. I told them, don't be afraid, I get it. Don't be afraid to go to someone else, he said. I think I'm at that point in my career where I understand what they're trying to do and I need other guys to get going so that way it can open it back up for me. It's sacrifice time. Cowboys urged to swap star for Chiefs vet, probably be playing elsewhere. Dallas Cowboys rumors continue to swirl about the future of starting running back Tony Pollard. Bleacher Report's Matt Holder believes Pollard will move on in free agency this offseason. The analyst suggests the Cowboys could turn to Kansas City Chiefs veteran Jerick McKinnon in free agency as a possible replacement. Tony Pollard is playing on the franchise tag and Dallas is estimated to begin the offseason significantly over the cap, according to Spotrac, Holder wrote in a November 27, 2023 article entitled NFL Team Needs, prioritizing every roster's biggest weaknesses entering Week 13. The soon-to-be 27-year-old will likely be looking for a payday in the offseason, meaning he'll probably be playing elsewhere next season. McKinnon has over 2,000 receiving yards in his career and could at least replace what Pollard brings to the passing game, but at a fraction of the price. McKinnon is playing on a one-year, $1.3 million contract and shouldn't command much more than that in free agency. If the Cowboys do move on from Pollard, it is hard to imagine McKinnon would be the team's solution at RB1. McKinnon has made a minimal impact on the Chiefs' offense this season. Through the first 12 weeks, McKinnon has just 13 carries for 30 yards. McKinnon has been more active in the passing game, adding 19 catches for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. A solution that makes more sense is Dallas finding their next RB1 in the draft as a more affordable option than Pollard. The Cowboys could sign a low-cost veteran like McKinnon as a complementary piece. This would not be an upgrade over Pollard. Cowboys rumors linking the team to running backs are sure to heat up this offseason. After being upgraded to the Dallas RB1 role, Pollard has had an up-and-down season. The good news is Pollard is starting to find his footing as the postseason nears. Pollard is coming off his best statistical game since Week 3 with his big Thanksgiving outing. The playmaker had 13 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. Pollard added 6 receptions for 24 yards against the Commanders. The decision for Dallas is as much financial as it is about Pollard's inconsistent production. Pollard has been playing on the $10 million franchise tag this season, and the Cowboys are unlikely to want to pay a similar salary at the position for 2024. Spotrac projects Pollard's market value to be a 3-year, $19.8 million contract. Spotrac's Michael Giannitti believes the Packers, Bears, and Bills could be potential landing spots for Pollard. The Cowboys have contracts to hand out left and right this winter/spring, including a couple of blockbusters for Prescott and Lamb, Giannitti detailed in a November 21 feature evaluating the 2024 running back market. A $13 million second franchise tag for Pollard seems inconceivable right now, but so does any sort of multi-year guaranteed extension if we're being honest. Pollard hits the open market, seeking a cap-adjusted version of Miles Sanders' free agent deal, 3 years, $20.5 million. Green Bay, Chicago, and Buffalo are listening. There is no guaranteed Dallas will move on from Pollard this offseason. The running back could agree to a more team-friendly salary if the Cowboys are willing to sign the rusher to a multi-year deal. And you fan, what do you think of the Tony Pollard situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.